been a long time. It's been a long time. You know what I'm saying? I've been going through a motherfucking tsunami. You feel me? Shit been real bad for me. But it is what it is. I'm back with this video. My Black is Different podcast. Because my black is different. I wanted to respond to Zoe Zales. He made a video about a day ago, and it's called "What is Wrong with Black People?" He's basically asking what is wrong with black people, because now you see people saying, "Oh, Trump is the second black president because he has a mugshot now." I'm going to tell you like this. For one, and I'm going to answer that question. For one, I don't like the games that y'all white people are playing now, where, because in this he says he supports, he supported Black Lives Matter. He gave money to Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter was a scam. Black Lives Matter was a scam. The money those people generated did not help any black person. And if you want to know the origins of Black Lives Matter, the origins of Black Lives Matter was made off of the Trayvon Martins, the any other person. There's so many of them. Any other person that was killed at the hands of police or killed at the hands of senseless violence. They only added they added police for propaganda purposes. But it was really off of black men's backs. See, what a lot of people don't know is when Black Lives Matter so-called started, it was called Black Men's Lives Matter. But that wasn't trendy. You couldn't abbreviate it into something cute. So now they changed it to Black Lives Matter. But this is what they always do to black men. We are marginalized. When we have an issue, it becomes everybody else's issue because they never want to put the black man on the pedestal. But I digress. So back to why you see people talking about Trump is the second black president and all this other stuff. Look, black people are ignorant. Okay? And I'm not going to make and I'm not trying to excuse their ignorance. But it's like this. There's a reason for their ignorance, okay? Black people, especially in this day and age, black people have never been this ignorant in the history of the world until this day and age. But I'm going to tell you where it started. They killed Malcolm X. They killed Martin Luther King Jr. The government and the FBI basically went on a spree of killing black leaders. And now I'm not talking about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Even though the government was watching Martin Luther King, and if you ask me, Malcolm X get killed by his own brothers in his mass because of the things he was saying when he went to Mecca and realized that there were white people in Mecca. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that the government planned that. You give somebody enough rope to hang themselves. They knew what was going on. They could have stopped it. But once again, I digress. So this happens. Then the next batch of leaders come forward. You have Huey P. Newton, people like Angela Davis, the Black Panther Party. They were assassinated and murdered, except for Angela Davis. But a lot of the founding members and the head members of the Black Panther Party were murdered. Why? Because of COINTELPRO. So now, let's move forward after that. We can move forward after that. Let's take it up to about 1976. Okay? Now these drugs are starting to come in. Around 1979, 1980 is when crack hits. And it's placed in impoverished areas. Okay? And now you have the news reports coming out. Crack babies and all this other shit. Me personally, my mother wasn't at it. I came in this world addicted to drugs. Okay? For the longest time, people would say things to me like, oh, he acts like that because of he was born with drugs in his system or some shit like that. Come to find out, a decade later, century later, that was bullshit. A good percent of the children who were born to drugs, there's nothing wrong with them. But now, mind you, propaganda again. So now, I see. Let's keep going forward. So now, crack has infiltrated the black community. One thing about black people I can't stand, they always look for their Moses. They have to have their Moses. They cannot lead individually. They cannot have individuals who are strong-minded and say, we can all lead this front so we can get better opportunities for ourselves. But then, gotta play devil's advocate. Why would you want to lead anything knowing that the government may try to kill you? Why would you want to lead anything when it's hard to, because now you got crack out here and stuff like that? Now let's move forward. You want to talk about the Central Park 5 and Donald Trump. I'll tell you right now, I am a Trump supporter. I am a Trump supporter. Why am I a Trump supporter? Because people may say he's racist and all this other shit. The fact of the matter is Trump doesn't give a fuck about color. He only cares about money. He doesn't care who generates him the money. Okay? As long as money is being generated. Why did you think there were so many jobs when he was in office? Now, with that being said, kind of lost my train of thought, but I'm going to get it back. It's been a long time since I've did one of these. But now, let's move forward. So now, with the Central Park 5 thing, I got it back. So, Hillary Clinton called us super predators. You cannot fault Donald Trump for posting that full-page ad. Why? Because of propaganda. At that point in time, they had everyone thinking that young black males between the ages of 15 to 27 were vicious raping criminals. Okay? That's first. But now, let's get in our time machine and let's go all the way back. From the Emancipation Proclamation, when they so-called set slaves free. Slavery wasn't abolished in Mississippi until, 96, I want to say? Yeah, 1996. Okay? And an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. But that's something else for another time, because they have just recently, within 2022, made lynching a federal crime. Okay, I digress. Let's go back. Okay? You had movies like Birth of a Nation. I'm not talking about the Nat Turner story. I'm talking about the original Birth of a Nation. I'm talking about one of the most highest making movies ever. At one time they called this the greatest movie ever to be made. It was played in the White House. If you watched Birth of a Nation, what did that show you? That we were animals who like to rape white women. So we've always had this stigma of being violent. Okay? And this is black men. black boys. We've always had this stigma of being violent. So they've been telling me I'm an animal and I'm violent and I'm all these other things, that I'm 3% less than a dog and all this other shit from the beginning of time. Now you go to the Central Park 5. Now we're super predators and all this other shit. Okay? Then let's talk about welfare. Now, all of this has something to do with the ignorance of the black community at this state and time. Let's talk about welfare. I seen a video, and it is hard to find this video, but if you look for the first hearing about welfare, there was a man who got on that stage, because it was Congress. Okay? It was a congressman who got on that stage. He told them flat out. He said, whatever community you put this in will destroy that community. Because he didn't want welfare. Now let's move forward. A lot of people don't believe in the Willie Lynch letter. I do. I don't call it a theory. Till today, I still see stuff that makes me look back to Willie Lynch. Okay? The Willie Lynch letter. Separate the man from the woman and the child. Hasn't welfare done that? You have black females out here, can't call them women because they're not real women. You have them out here and they will jump to get Section 8 housing, welfare, whatever you want to call it. They will jump to get all these free programs to keep the black man out of the house. A lot of these black females have been sexually assaulted in their youth. I have dated several black females who told me family members have sexually assaulted them in their youth. Because black people will not shun somebody if allegations are brought up against them like that. A majority of the time, the mother won't believe it. Okay? Now, with that being said, you don't have the man in the home. You have a woman trying to raise a child. No matter if that child is a girl or a boy, you need both parents to at least get some form to where they can mold the child into becoming an adult. Okay? When you take one of those equations away, your math problem is going to be fucked up. Okay? And then that's not even adding the conditions that we live in. Let's go back. Let's add that to the equation. Let's add in these ghettos that they put us in. The first people to ever be put in ghettos were the Jews. Okay? They did the same things to us. When we started to move into these areas that were middle class, when there was a middle class, and people were starting to get that, it may be possible for us to get that American dream, that white picket fence. When that started to occur, what happened? The Great White Migration. White people started leaving in droves and masses. When they left in droves and masses, they took their businesses with them. GM in Detroit turned Detroit into a whole ghetto. So now you have people raising children in these ghettos all over America. I believe in nature versus nurture. you will be more influenced by people outside of your home than you are influenced by the people in your home, especially when you only have one parent. If you have one parent, let's take away the Section 8 and the welfare and all that other stuff. Let's say you have one parent, a single mother. She's working a majority of the time. People don't realize how much time they give to jobs that don't give a fuck about them. Okay? But that's another conversation for another time. Now, she's giving all this time to this job to keep a roof and food on the table. How can she install the right tools into this black man, this black young child, male or female? How can she install the right tools into them? She can't. This is where the degradation comes in. Young black girls have been sexualized since the beginning of time. Point blank, period. And you may sit here and be like, he's going off into these tangents. It's a puzzle. Every piece plays a part in the whole grand scheme of things. Now let's move closer until today. I said to some black females one day, I said, do you support women's suffrage? They said, we don't support no women suffering, all this other stuff. They're stupid. My people are stupid. And I'm going to tell you like this. The minority has nothing to do with the majority. A majority of us are fucking stupid and no one will check them. So they will continue to allow them to be stupid. Now you have, if you haven't watched Mr. Zoe, if you haven't watched, I want to make sure I say your name right. Yeah, Mr. Zoe. Mr. Zoe Zales. If you haven't watched Idiocracy, go watch Idiocracy. Because we're living in Idiocracy. People's attention spans are like that. Okay? I may not come from your generation. I'm 34 years old. But I got to see everything unravel from my generation until this generation. I am one of the last of a dying breed that actually read books and not just hood booger books and bullshit, that cares about what is going on around me. I am highly intelligent. That means nothing. As we speak right now, I am a victim of inflation, hence of racism. I am a victim of that. I was given something, and I usually don't get into details about my personal life like that because I don't. Why cry over spilled milk? Just go get another cup. But sometimes it's harder to go get another cup. Now, like I was saying, I received a letter of repossession, not an eviction letter, a letter of repossession. Okay? Why? Because I live in a ghetto area. And when you rent from these places and you're in ghetto areas, there's slumlords. I can show you water damage on my ceiling, mold in the corner of my shit, all that. Okay? But these are the only places I can rent from. Why? I'll get to that in a moment. Now, I got to be out of here Friday. Why? Because they said, why would we go in there? Because they changed the law to where people can't be slumlords no more. So why would we go in there and fix stuff when we can go in there and fix stuff and throw him out on his ass? We can throw him out on his ass, and because my rent was $538. So now we can throw him out on his ass and we can raise the rent to $1,200 because that's the same thing they're doing with the apartment that's under me. And this is not what I think. This is what I know. From everything I've been through, this is what I know. Now, let's talk about why can I only rent from slumlords and shit like that. In my youth, now I want to tell you something about me. My father was a punk, okay? He was not a man. He's taught me nothing in my whole life, okay? My mother was a drug addict, all right? I came into this world addicted to drugs, all right? Now, my family says, oh, we're going to take him in. They didn't really want to take me in because my mother told him it would be a month, a week, a month, and whatever. See, I had to piece shit together because my family, when it comes to talking about serious shit, they're cowards. So I had to come up with my own, okay? Now, I'm being brought into a family of drug addicts, drug dealers, murderers, gang members, okay? My cousin is facing a murder charge right now. He will never come home again, okay? My uncle was in and out of jail. I have cousins who were some of the biggest drug dealers in Newport News. They were in and out of the federal system. These are the people I have to look up to. So, I was in the South. I was in North Carolina for a while. I wasn't getting the proper help I needed. As in, showing me jobs that I could actually make some real money. Like factory jobs. I knew nothing about factory jobs when I first got to the South. Okay? So now, me and my cousin had got into it. The nigga tried to run me over with a truck and all this other shit. Stabbed the nigga up, all this other shit. Long story short, my aunt threw me out. Okay? Because my cousin told her, if you don't throw that nigga out, I'm not helping you do nothing else. She threw me out. So, I was homeless. Downtown Fayetteville, the Merc. Sitting on my bags. Fucked up. Not a helping hand because, and this is just for men. This has nothing to do with color. Men, the world doesn't give a fuck about men. Okay? Oh, go to a homeless shelter. Homeless shelters don't do shit. I've been to several, I can tell you. About to get ready to go to another one Friday. Why? Because there's no help for men. I've been looking for help since I've got that letter of repossession. You're a man. Go to a homeless shelter. So with that being said, all right. I started staying with my homeboy's mom's, which she didn't have to let me, and she helped me a lot. Tried to do the right thing, okay? Was going to get a job at City Trends. I was going to beauty school. The lowest grade I got in beauty school was 100. I am not bullshitting you, okay? I'm highly intelligent, especially when it comes to the knowledge part of that shit, like bacteria and shit like that. So, with that being said, didn't get the job at City Trends. My homeboy's moms was paying for me to get on the bus to go to school, and I was going to school no matter the weather, none of that. I'm going to school, okay? Now I can't do that. Now my back is against the wall, so I started card cracking. I was not a scammer. Card cracking is when you go online and you bid on people's credit card numbers. And what I would do is I would take the credit card numbers, put them on a fraudulent debit card, and once they was on one of them debit cards you get out of Family Dollar or whatever, I would take that, put it on there, and now that debit card is really a credit card. And I would go to Walmart's and Belk's and Macy's, and I would swipe for gift cards, and I would sell them for half price. You want 500 in gift cards? Give me 250. Like that. I got caught for doing that. Never got caught in the act of doing it. Got caught because a female told me. But that digresses from the point of what I'm saying. So after all of this, I go to jail. I do my time. I come out. Did my probation. Was on probation for 2 years. Did my probation. Never violated. Other things happen. I ended up coming here. I come to where I'm at right now, Rome, Georgia, with nothing. I get my stuff together. Okay? Now, I was working in a factory and all this other stuff, and now it's time for me to get my place. People will not rent to me because I am a felon. Or they have these stupid ass rules and shit. Oh, you gotta make 3 times the rent. These niggas don't make 3 times the rent to where they stay at. But you have to. I said all that to say this. They do things purposely to keep you in impoverished areas. Did I commit a crime? Yes. Did I pay my debt to society? Yes. So why am I still being treated like a criminal? And now, what led me to that criminality? Nature versus nurture. Being around criminals and gang, that's the only thing I could think of. So now you say all these things, and to keep 100, I'm an anomaly. Because most people would keep doing criminal shit. Because people don't like the struggle. People don't like to be at the bottom. Okay? I didn't. You have these people in this day and age, they are ignorant. Some news outlets are alleging that Florida mass shooting was done because of the boat brawl. Okay? And now we are facing that people are influenced by what they see on TV. They're influenced by the gang members. They're influenced by the rappers. They're influenced by all these people. They are influenced by them. The mothers can't make sure their kids are doing good in school because the mothers are either working or they're fucking stupid and lazy. There's no man in the house. And the majority of these men are raised by single black mothers. So they're stupid and emotional and don't know how to be real men. So you ask what's wrong with black people. Society is what's wrong with black people. There was a time when if black people did ratchet stuff, as they call it nowadays, if they did ignorant things, you had other black people that would check them like, nah, we ain't going for that. But see, those people are either in old age or they died already. We don't have that anymore. And in the great words of Lloyd Banks, fuck living positive, because negativity spreads faster. My people are influenced by negativity. They lack education. They go to some of the worst schools in America. They do not care about learning. So you ask all these things. And I like how you act like white society has not played a part in this. And what killed me was when you went, well, I support George Floyd and all this other shit and this person and that person and all this other shit, blah, blah, blah. But yet you still go there and say, you still sit there and say Trump for, oh, they got shirts on that say Trump, niggas for Trump. Don't ever say the N-word and then in the same breath say, oh, well, I support black people and all this other bullshit. If you're out here saying the nigga, you don't support black people. Okay? To y'all, it's just a word. To us, it's the only thing that we have gotten since slavery, since Jim Crow, since any of that. That's why we don't want y'all to use it. That's why we don't allow y'all to use it. If you was around a whole bunch of black people, you wouldn't say nigga. If you was around me by myself, I doubt you would say nigga. Okay? So before you go ask what is wrong with my people, go ask yourself what is wrong with your people. Because your people brought me here. Well, brought us here. Okay? And if you try to tell me that ancestor shit, oh, that wasn't me, that shit don't matter. Because even in this day and age, I still wear the scars of slavery, nigga. Why do I wear the scars of slavery? My last name is Moore. Moore. You got stupid people that'll be like, oh, that's probably from the Moors. And no, words mean something. My name is not Moore, as in what is it, M-O-O-R? No, it's M-O-O-R-E. You know what the origin of my last name comes from? Either Irish or Scottish. I'm not Irish nor Scottish. My last name is a slave owner's last name. You want to help? Don't sit up here and make these videos asking these asinine questions when you can go ask a black person. Just make sure you don't ask the ignorant one. I just wanted to answer you real quick, since you wanted to ask the question. Here's the gist of everything I just said. Why does my race act so ignorant? COINTELPRO, our leaders being killed, slavery, Jim Crow, Willie Lynch, crack, being moved into impoverished areas, opportunities being taken away from black youth, fathers being taken out of their homes, mothers and fathers being separated from the child, sexual assaults on young black females, children raising children. Okay? It's numerous things. It's a butterfly effect. Cause and effect. Straight like that. You can do something today and you will not feel the effects of it till maybe 10, 20 years down the line. This is what happens. This is what happens. So now you have people being ignorant. Yes, they support the drug dealers and the criminals and all this. They do. They do. And I'm not stupid. So I can't sit here and be like, no, because I don't, and and this, and that. No, I and people like me have nothing to do with anything because we're not the majority. We're the minority. There are more stupid people in this world than smart people. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. And if you don't believe me, go look on YouTube. Go look on TikTok. Go look on all them stupid ass shits. These brainwashing ass apps. Everything plays a part. So that's my answer to you, man. You asked the question, I gave you the answer. But at the end of the day, I still don't find no solace in any of this. None of this benefits me no way, shape, nor form because I have to pay for their sins. Okay? I have been the one who walked down the streets of New York as a young boy, 13, 12, and been a victim to stop and frisk. When no one gave a fuck. They knew it was going on. No one gave a fuck. Okay? Having a white woman grab her purse and pull it close to her when you're just walking by her is a different feeling. Okay? I remember being 18 years old, going to get job applications, because this is not at the time where you could just go fill them out online. They still had paper applications. Going into a GameStop, oh, can I get an application? Oh, we ain't got no more. Used to have to bring my girlfriend with me. She was Dominican. Same color as me. I go outside, I tell her, yo, go in there and ask them if they got an application. If they got applications. She'll go in there and come out with an application. So you're asking this question. I don't know if you're trying to be funny or whatever you're trying to do. You got your answer, okay? My people are marginalized, okay? And instead of them trying to keep fighting, they don't want to fight anymore. They just want to be stupid and ignorant. So that's the answer. My people, as of now, are stupid and ignorant. Nothing's going to change that. If you talk to a wall, the wall is not going to respond back to you. They're too gone and too lost. They have to wipe themselves out. There's no more natural selection. So stupid people are running wild now. You know what I'm saying? You talking about people that follow the Democratic Party. You have black people till this day who are saying, I'm gonna vote Democrat. They don't care about policies. They don't care about none of that. They don't care what the candidate stands for, any of that. Okay? They only care about, oh, to us, Republicans are bad. Republicans this and Republicans that. The Democratic Party created the Ku Klux Klan. I will never support the Democratic Party ever again in life. Because I used to fall under that brainwashing too. But I was young. 9, 10, 11, 12. Wasn't even able to vote. Can't vote now. Felon. So, these are the things my people had to deal with. And these are the things I have to deal with now. I have to be a byproduct of their stupidity. The same way I was a byproduct of my parents' negligence. I could have turned out way worse than I did. Way worse. That's it. That's all.